back, everybody, to another episode of Open Up. I'm your host, RC, and as always, to my right, my man, Mike.
How you doing, everybody? First off, I want to give a shout out to my boy Kevin Powers for the intro. Little rip there on the guitar. Fantastic, my man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.
And let's get into it. So this weekend, obviously, was one of the best weekends if you are a football fan.
Yeah, it was.
These playoffs this weekend were just top to bottom phenomenal. I mean, what can you say about it? What can you say? Let's start it off. First off, I want to say my first show, I predicted hopefully the Rams and Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. Right now, I'm still in it. So Bengals beat the Titans 19-16, and it was a great game. Great game. It came down to the final seconds, like always, like all these playoff games.
Yeah.
With 3 seconds left on the clock, Bengals kicked the winning field goal, and I mean, what can you say about that? The other Saturday game was the Niners and the Packers, which I don't think anybody thought Aaron Rodgers would be watching the game from home so early in the playoffs. But
yeah, and that's tough. You the whole season, and you sit there and if he was there, would they have won? I'm gonna say yes, but then again, I'm not a coach, so.
and it's funny too because he was on MVP, another MVP level right now, and of course played in Lambeau Field, which it was with snow, cold, wind. Wasn't a very high scoring game. Basically, what the game came down to was the 49ers defense blocking a punt, and returning it for a touchdown. The game was pretty much a dud until that happened. But again, you gotta help with the 49ers. They're a great team.
Yeah, I mean they pulled. The thing is now they've done this in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Could they hold off? Possibly get to where they want to go?
I think they can in the NFC, but once they get to the AFC, if Garoppolo can't score 10 to 15 touchdowns like Pat Mahomes can,
and whoever they're facing,
it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough.
They're going to know that.
But again, Sunday must have been it was a great day for football. Rams-Bucks game, I mean, what do you say about Tom Brady?
Every time he gets in these situations, and he's not one of the best for no reason. This is what he does. Goat. You get down there. He has a team on his shoulders, and look what happens.
And it's funny because you're watching the game and you're like, is this really going to happen? 27-3, Tom Brady's getting whooped. And then you go to your kitchen, you get a snack, and you come back and it's 17-27, and you're like, what the heck is happening? Just like that. Yeah, it was funny because I had to hear my girl scream from the other room, like, it must be rigged. How does he do it all the time?
Oh, yeah.
How does Tom Brady always get back and
is he cheating? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's something to marvel at. I mean, it's happened many times in his career, especially on the Patriots. We know that. And it's most of the time come out in their favor.
Yeah, and again, if the NFL is scripting this, kudos to you.
Yeah.
It was fantastic watching yesterday. It was fantastic. But again, Rams beat the Buccaneers by a field goal. Last second, Stafford finds my little Cooper Kupp down the seam, wide open. Hits him, said that's pretty easy. Down the ball, 3 seconds left, field goal.
That's it.
And now we'll be talking about if Tom Brady's going to even come back next year. But the Super Bowl, the Cadillac of it all, last night's game.
Yes.
Bills-Chiefs.
Bills fans, I know how you feel. I know what you go through. But at least be happy that they played the way they played.
And you had Josh Allen. Be happy you have Josh Allen. I mean, granted, that game was one of the... I mean, I don't think these two quarterbacks could have played any better. It's kind of ridiculous to even think if they could even play any better than they did.
They put everything they had.
I mean, like I said, Josh Allen's a great quarterback. He literally did everything right to win the game.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Bills' defense lost it for him. 13 seconds left. They gave up 50-some-odd yards to tie the game to go to overtime. And again, once that overtime coin was flipped, it seemed to be shining on the Chiefs' season because they got the ball first, and with Pat Mahomes, that's all she wrote.
That's it. And like I said, I think I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are gonna end up at least being in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's not a bad bet. I'm not gonna argue with you there. Yeah. But those were the weekend games, and you guys again. Phenomenal games. We're just hoping that the division round and the Super Bowl is as exciting. And NFL, like I said, if you're scripting it, keep doing it up because you guys got me on the seat of my pants every game. Thank you.
That's it. We got that. So anyway, I want to bring up something that I know most of you probably have saw, or if not. It's this little headline I found out. The TSA is letting illegal immigrants use arrest warrants to count as their ID. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I think everybody kind of thinks the same thing. How is that even possible? And I have a quote here from the TSA. The Biden administration is knowingly putting your national security at risk. Unknown and unvetted immigrants should not even be in the country, much less flying without proper identification. Now, I don't know about you, but nowadays, with having to have vaccine passports and all this, it's not that it just doesn't seem fair, because I don't want to cry on that side of the coin, but it's not safe, and how is, so if you can illegally get to the country, and then you're going to say, oh, well, I crossed over at Texas, I want to fly to Vegas, that's going to let you get on a plane?
Yeah, guys. We were reading on this. It came up, and I don't understand what's going on. I mean, if you're letting illegal immigrants use an arrest warrant to prove their identity to get through airport security, I mean, what are you trying to do? First, you don't want any illegal immigrants here.
Exactly.
But now, if they do get here, you're going to let them go tour the United States? I don't understand that policy.
To move freely around the country.
And again, like you said, the vaccination.
That's what I'm saying. And we're as Americans are having issues in not all states, but in some of the states where you have to even have a vaccine card to go eat at a restaurant. Getting on an airplane, you have to have a negative COVID test, right? So you have people who are coming here unvaccinated, don't know if they have COVID,
not getting checked,
have arrest warrants, they're being unvetted and freely, to roam about the country. So, if this was a story, I'm sure it wasn't just a few people, because if this made a headline, it's got to be at least a significant amount of things that have been happening. And so, how long has this been going on?
Yeah, and especially that we're just reading from about it now. So, imagine how long it's been going on.
Was it 2 years? I mean, did something happen to where this was brought up?
And again, we're on the site and we get vague information. It's like they're telling us this, but they don't want to tell us why or where it's coming from. You're letting people you don't want in the United States. You're giving them basically, let me go get arrested so I can travel wherever I want. I mean, I don't get the thinking towards that. I mean, I'm not in the political game. I couldn't tell you why.
No, but there's just certain things.
Going to be a subject.
You're right. And there's a certain amount of things like if that was an American, we would never have been able to travel, from state to state freely with an arrest warrant. So why is the administration allowing this to happen? And that's one of the biggest questions. And I'm sure if they bring it up in their press conference, Jen Psaki will say something that has nothing to do with it. They won't have an answer for it. And this is the kind of stuff that these little problems that we're having all over the place is what, we're worried about. We have issues with COVID going on, restrictions. And now this adds to one more thing. Oh, we got people flying around the country who are criminals, and they're unvetted criminals, unvaccinated criminals. So why is it? Question is why do we always have to follow the rules? Why do we have to be punished, but other people are being let free to do whatever they want? And that's one of the questions I have to ask.
And again, like you said, you got all these people right now. Some states don't even let you walk around with a medical mask.
No.
Now they're telling you the only safe masks are these N95 masks. And I'm pretty sure none of these illegal immigrants have those.
Exactly.
So you're letting them on planes with what wraps around the. Again, it's a silly thing to be talking about it, but it's something that we have to talk about. Why are you allowing people to just spread when you don't want them here? I don't have any problems with illegal immigrants. Again, they come here for a better life.
Yeah,
but
illegally, but that's another
illegally.
thing.
But I mean, if you're trying so hard with all this border patrol and all this money you have, deporting all these guys, but then again, you let them in and give them free right to travel the United States as they please with a piece of paper saying, "I just did something bad. Can I go somewhere else now?" I mean, again, it's mind-boggling, but
because it's just really think about it. They're letting them come in and seek asylum. Mm-hmm. It's really what that is. Because if you cross the border, you get caught, you get detained, you get sent back across. Now you can cross the border, however you did, jump on a plane, go somewhere else, and no one knows you're there.
Okay, I got a question I can ask. So if they're coming over here and then they're getting deported, right?
Yeah.
Does that come with like a record, a warrant? So can you get
it? It should. Yeah, I believe.
So then they're basically coming here, getting deported, and using that paper that they got deported with, coming.
Yeah, it's either that paper or a warrant they have in Mexico.
So again, so you're saying
it's not just Mexican.
Yeah, but again, you're letting these people say, okay, you know what, commit a crime in Mexico. Then come over here and we'll let you fly wherever you want, so you don't get in trouble. I mean, it's
seeking asylum, and it doesn't say specifically it's all Mexican, illegal immigrants. So there could be
again, we're not poking at the person,
but the whole thing,
it's illegal immigrants as a whole.
Yeah, it's very common for people from Mexico to come over here, especially with the whole 2 years, the last rush of people trying to get in the country. But illegal immigrants is what they used. Nothing was specific, but most of the time, that's where we're having problems.
Again, and like I said, it's illegal immigrants. It's just the fact that you can take a arrest or a conviction and use that for good. I mean,
to pull through. And in the TSA, they said that they are committed to ensuring all travelers, regardless of immigration status, are pre-screened before they arrive to the airport. So if right there contradicts what they're saying. The administration is letting them do this, but then the TSA is saying, no, we're pre-screening. So what are you pre-screening then? You're a person, you can fly, you know what I mean? So if they're pre-screening, that's just be something that comes up because you don't have an ID, you don't have a passport.
You have nothing.
And you're saying, well, this is me, can I move freely about your country? So that's the thing, and the problem is if we ask the administration or the TSA, no one's going to give a straight answer. So if it's not a big deal to them, then why is it being told everybody now? Because it is a big deal. And they try to make these things come out like it's not a big deal. And no one else, and they briefly talk about it, so no one else is aware of it.
And guys, I also want to say something about that. Again, one of those don't even have your picture on it. So who's to say that I can't just get somebody else's and come over here and say, hey,
that's another thing. Yeah,
we don't have. If you're illegal, you don't have any type of ID or anything on you. Am I right?
Yeah, you usually don't. And like you said before, if you get, let's say, you come over here, you get caught, and you get sent back. What happens is they take your name with all the information they possibly could.
Yeah.
So what if you're that person 6 months later comes back, have an arrest warrant for Mexico, and they do run your name, and you come up that I was deported back. Are they allowed? Are they letting them go through, or are they sending them back? And we don't know because they can't really find anybody who's digging into this story or making them aware. Like these are the kind of questions that we want to know. These are the kind of questions that we want to put out in the universe so everybody else starts asking them, because it seems like a lot of this stuff is happening consistently, and it's getting crazier and crazier as this COVID thing goes on.
And the stories are getting smaller and smaller from what they give us to know. So I mean,
there's
I just want to know who thought that was a good idea. I mean, really, who thought that was a good idea?
And what does it say? No outline. So let me see here. It says outline that the alien identification number found on a DHS document is processed through one or both of the following databases: the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, one mobile application, or TSA's National Transport Vetting Center. So it sounds to me that if they're going through those three types, one of the three.
One of the three, not even all.
So
yeah.
Either they're not letting that, they're lying and saying that they're not doing it, or lying and saying they are doing it, but they're really not. And then, because if they were doing that, then people wouldn't be traveling with their warrants. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, and it says right here in words that these acceptable forms are a warrant for your arrest of an alien or a warrant of removal and deportation.
There you go. There's the answer to your question right there.
I don't understand. You have a warrant for your arrest. What if it was murder? Are you just going to let the guy go
That's
to
what I'm saying.
Vegas or New York? And
Or are they saying, oh, well, let's weigh out the crimes?
So then who's the
smaller crime?
Okay, but then again, then who's going to be there on top that's saying, okay, this is a good crime and that's a bad crime? Then now you're just throwing a whole bunch of more oil into the pot as it is. And again, we're reading these from the website. We got a daily caller on the website, exclusive. I mean, it's out there. It just very broad on why they're doing it and what they're doing it for.
It is, and I've tried to find other news organizations that don't even bother, like CNN and NBC. They're not even bringing this up,
and they won't,
because it's tied to the current administration and they have to follow their agenda. So, and that's what scares me the most, that stuff like this is going on, but they feel that you don't need to know because it doesn't have to do with their plan. So that's why we're here. So we're here so you can see at home to start a conversation, ask the right questions, and find out really what's going on, to be aware.
Yeah. Again, this is our show. We want to open up. We want to start a conversation. We want to hear about your conversation. And again, before we end our show today, again, I want to let everybody know that mental health is real. Me, myself, I've been through it. I know RC, he's been through it. We all know already the way to start helping yourself is speaking to others, letting a friend know or somebody know what you're going through. So it can be brought to light. Somebody can help somebody. I'm not here to try to help everybody. I would love to, but I mean, again, out there, somebody is always willing to hear you out. No matter what kind of problems you're having. And basically it. I want everybody to do more, be more. It's a little quote I live by. Do a little bit more, be a little bit more in your life.
Right.
Don't settle for anything.
No.
You settle, you never succeed. You want to do more than you have to so you can get as much as you can out of this life that was given to us.
Yeah. So take the questions we posed today. Start the conversation, start talking, start digging, doing your own research, and find out these answers. And don't forget to leave us a comment.
And if you like the content, you like anything that we're talking about, hit that like button. Hit that share button with your friends. Trying to get this off the floor and help some people out there. Talk about some interesting topics.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
That's what we're here for.
All right, it's been great. We'll see you on the next go around. I'll see you there at another time.
See you later.
Later.